Thank you so much for tuning in to Burning Well. I am your host, Laika Ferry, and today we have Karin Malka. So she runs Too Good Nutrition. And what is the address?
It's 4845 South Fort Apache Road, Suite F.
Perfect. And she is going to be here just having a real conversation with me today about finding balance as a young entrepreneur who is still getting life together,
Yes.
but also doing some amazing things in business, in the community. And she is such a bright and energetic soul. So
Thank you.
I hope you guys can feel just the warmth of simply
You're so
hearing
sweet.
this conversation. So I want to just
excited.
go ahead and give it to Karin to share about what Too Good is known
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
and where she is now.
Yeah, so Too Good is pretty much a wellness shop that we have a cafe in. We pretty much do like healthy shakes, waffles, anything that you can think of that is a sweet treat, but it's like a guilty free. So it's kind of the whole reason why we open it up there is because, or pretty much the start of it was the vision of being able to give to the community what they didn't have at the moment.
At Too Good,
Yeah.
you have emphasized over
Mhm.
and over again that this is a partnership, that this is a collaborative business.
Yes.
And I actually went and visited you for the first time. And when we were over there filming content, we were able to meet two other local business owners that were
Yes.
just kind of hanging out
Yes,
there.
yeah.
So I was like, wow, this already feels like such a collaborative energy
Yes,
in this cafe.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And so you have two partners. You have Isaac and Aviva. They also have their own businesses.
Yes.
But I'd love for you to talk about how you guys work together to run Too Good and how that crosses over into other businesses that you guys run together.
Yeah, well, pretty much with Too Good Nutrition, it's pretty much the heart of what they want to start in a sense of like a healthy community. What to expect is just a beautiful atmosphere. It's so light, energetic. It's literally just too good. We have everything that is all low sugar, high protein, low calories, but it's like a sweet kind of guilty treat. So we specialize in trying to like pretty much like do the alternative of instead of depriving yourself, you don't have to eat bird food during, your meal plan or anything like that.
I love that.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to like say that like in a bad way.
That's
but, like,
so true though. A lot
know.
of healthy alternatives out there are bland. It's like,
Yeah.
why does it have to be bland? I just want to like say Karin brought me waffles and coffee from Too Good today before us recording, and I devoured her waffles. I called her. I was like, Karin, if you could please, like, I know this is asking a lot, but if you could please bring me some waffles.
I'm so happy you did.
And I ate it all in like probably 2 minutes. Like I was so hungry and it was so good. I got the Oreo waffles, cookies and cream. So trademark.
So yes.
Cookies and cream waffles, and then their house special coffee, right?
Yeah, the house blend. Yeah.
Yes, that was delicious. It's like it gives me the same classic feel as milk tea boba.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Oh yes, that's exactly. Oh my god, I didn't realize what it reminded me of, but it's exactly that actually.
And it's like this is so familiar,
Yeah.
But the cool part about it is that when the first time I visited Too Good to meet Karin, I didn't know I'd be meeting like 3 other local business owners on this same day. I was shook. I was like,
on
wow.
the same second, you didn't have the chance to even walk inside.
Right. She opened the door for me and bang, we just had 2 other business owners come out. I'm like, dang, this is amazing because people say all the time, oh, it's about collaboration, but there's businesses that say it and don't walk the talk. But with Karin and what she has going on, like it literally is that. So on the topic of collaboration and community, can you share more about Isaac and Aviva, your partners, and why community is so important to you guys?
Yeah, of course. I pretty much found the place just driving through the Dutch Bros behind in the back.
Oh, that's right. So this is the story where Karin wasn't originally part business owner of Too Good.
Right.
So let's hear how you went from driving past this place to actually owning it and helping out and growing the business.
So I just pretty much, like I said, I was going through a drive-through. I saw Too Good Nutrition coming soon. I've always been into like nutrition and wellness and health, but I never really knew how to, like, where to go about that. You know, in high school, I don't know if you resonate with it, but as a girl in high school at least, and the different things that you'd see online, the different diets that you'd see, or just the different like
fads.
Fads, exactly. I had a very hard time. So seeing that, I was right out of high school. I was just getting into college at that point. Didn't really want to go into, like, I didn't really want to continue into college, but didn't really know what to do. So I saw it, I put it in my notes, and I kept it in mind because I just had like a gut feeling about it. And then a few months later, I saw that they finally opened up. I was still very like hesitant in going in. Like, I was a very different person at that time. I felt like I was a lot more closed off. I literally worked with dogs before I worked with them, because I didn't want to work with people. I was like, I'll play with the puppies. Yeah. You know, I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to like do any. I literally looked up work from home jobs before. So walking into Too Good, I immediately felt a comfortability there. I went in at first just as a client. I went in a few times, tried it just to see how the atmosphere
to taste
was.
test.
Yeah, just to see. I'm like, is this like really, you know, what I want?
The real deal.
Yeah, what I want to do. And so then I met the owner, which was Isaac. And at this point, I was interested in getting like the job and just working there for, you know, some part-time.
So you were job hunting for just a regular kind of 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, just 9 to 5. I wasn't like really thinking on the scope of like passive income or owning anything or just being a part of something bigger. I just was like, you know what, I'm going to go to school and do that. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's what I was supposed to do, you know, quote unquote. Was, you know, working there for a good period of time. And then I noticed how they were really running the business after meeting Aviva, which kind of falls into play as to why Too Good is open, obviously, with Bikini Fitness. But they pretty much opened up the shop so that the girls from Bikini Fitness down the road can come and try a shake, you know, be able to try it with the program itself.
Oh, so it was a complementary dynamic of, we have a health program, a fitness program, but now we have the nutrition piece, so that it's a holistic wellness program.
Like, it's like it comes from every angle for the clients. But also just because like after they tried it, they were like, this is insane. How is this healthy but low sugar and like
and tastes delicious?
Yeah, and so that's why they called it Too Good.
Oh, it's too good to be true.
Because everyone's like, oh my god, it's too good. How I pretty much kind of went from being just there part-time to really running it and partnering with them was, at first I didn't want to get on any nutrition program. Again, like I said, I was just there for the hourly. And then in the first month that I was there and working, I had lost about like 8.5, 9 pounds.
Wow.
And I was just like snacking on the like samples that they had left, and like I had a shake, but I didn't do anything serious.
So you were replacing your normal diet with now healthier variations of food.
Yeah, but it felt very just natural to just switch over, because it tasted like I wasn't I was cheating.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm a big sweet treat kind of girl. I need ice cream. I need, you know, like I need my cookies and cakes and stuff like that. So this was like a complete game changer for me. So when I realized, I was like, oh, okay, this has something to it. I finally started a program when I was like, okay, let me try to actually like try something that wasn't like a fad diet and actually worked. And then through that, I was able to lose around 30 pounds. Yeah, and it was through nutrition. I can tell you, I was not in the gym or working out or, you know, doing that much, as far as I was really just like walking 30 minutes a day, you know, but it was really nutrition focused.
Wow.
And that's where things kind of clicked for me. And then I just wanted to help people do the same, because it wasn't just a weight loss journey or a fitness journey or whatever it was. It was like a completely like a transformation, you know, of like
Yes.
self and stuff like that.
So I resonate so deeply with that because I also lost 30 pounds in a year.
Wow.
And it came from going back into strength training. I was away from the gym like cold turkey and just eating whatever. Honestly, eating my emotions away, basically. So getting back into the gym after I had injured myself in the military and I was going through a lot of like emotional distress at the time, I really felt like what accelerated my journey was the consistency of just showing up, but also taking care of myself emotionally. And when I started taking care of myself emotionally, I stopped having so many cravings. It just helped curb them a lot. But I remember like maybe 6 months into my journey when I started really noticing a difference and how I felt, how my clothes fit. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is real. I would look at my old photos of who I was 6 months ago and I couldn't recognize her. It was like a whole new person. The
way you say her too, like it's like really, it's like a different person. Like for me, I feel like same thing.
When you look back at the person who you once were before this journey, what are your feelings? What are your thoughts?
I feel like obviously proud, you know, because the self-growth and everything like that. I think every day, obviously, we strive to be better and strive to be doing more or just being just a better version of yourself. So looking back at that, I do need to give myself more grace and credit about that. You know what I mean? Because I don't recognize her.
I'm gonna be open about this. I was pretty mean to her when I looked back at those photos. I looked back and I was like, how could you let yourself go? How did you not see where you were? And I was really bullying myself. And for a temporary while, it fueled me at the gym of like, I don't want to go back to that. That's a phase of me, not just physically unwell, but mentally unwell. And it all just kind of blew up. So were you ever kind of mean to yourself, or what was that like for you?
I know you're saying it fueled you, but for me, it actually stunted me.
Wow.
Once I just let go of the idea of trying so hard to aim at it, it just happened. And that's for anything in life. It wasn't only a physical journey. I felt like as soon as I felt good physically, I wanted to get better. Like every day was a different period of my life that I was kind of going through a phase of going from desperation to inspiration. I was very hard on myself for a period of time. But then I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's temporary. You can go back. Like it's like I try to tell myself things are temporary because if I think in a sense of discouragement or being realistically like just so hard on myself, it just stunts me even more because I'm so focused on it.
I'm sure it helps to have a community or a circle of people who have healthy habits, who remind you like, did you eat today? Like there's some days like, listen, I know I teach about burnout and like but you know what, sometimes we gotta coach ourselves. Nobody's perfect. We have our own seasons, and I think this season for me has been, I really have to remind myself to eat. I will even meal prep. I have the best intentions, and yet I will eat a bowl of cereal over doing my meal prep for some reason. I don't know if it means my meal prep isn't great enough, like it isn't good enough for me to
I'm sure it's good. But some days you just need a bowl of cereal.
Right.
And it's okay.
But it helps because when I was going through this journey, what helped me is like I had a friend of mine who helped me get back into the gym, and she was teaching me on the machines, and she was such a good person to start my journey off with again. And then I gained slowly the confidence to go to CrossFit, which was the first physical activity I ever fell in love with. I started CrossFit in high school, and I just felt so strong weightlifting.
I love that.
And then from there, I started working with a trainer one-on-one to start doing kind of focused muscle building. And I was falling in love with the process. But I think the number one thing that kept me coming back to the gym was my CrossFit community initially. So it was my believers in the early stage. And then it was the consistent people that I would expect to see at the gym, at my 6 p.m. classes.
Yes.
I had an amazing coach.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first CrossFit class I went to, and I was lifting, and she noticed my laces were undone.
Mm-hmm.
And she bent down and she tied
Oh.
my shoelaces. The fact
the
that
workout.
she served in that way,
Yeah.
it made me want to work harder, it made me want to show up more.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you had that kind of circle with you on your journey too?
100%. That is one of the biggest reasons why I continued forward and everything like that. We had so many conversations before things clicked a little bit. For not those conversations or those moments of him pouring into me or Aviva pouring into me, just being in a community where every day I get to talk to people and see their transformations as well. Seeing people every day come in because they also want to get better. Once you show up, you're there. You might as well go work out. You know?
Right. My current routine used to be Monday through Thursday CrossFit with 30 minutes of cardio immediately after.
Okay.
And then with everything picking up, a lot of changes in life, I went and said, you know what, Wednesdays I have to really work on specific things that I want to start off right away, and I need to give my body rest.
Break, yeah.
So I went Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. The energy's different. You said from desperation to inspiration, right?
Yeah.
And I will say though, it's not perfect every single time. I will say last week, or it was probably this week, I usually always do my 30 minutes on the Stairmaster after my hour of functional training that I'm doing. But I was basically showing up at the gym and then doing the workouts I liked. So let's say there was a day where I just really didn't want to go. I didn't feel like it. But then I knew my routine. I was like, you know what? I really like doing hip thrusters. I really like doing the leg extensions. At the very least, let me just go to the gym. Yeah, and work around. I was like, wow, we compromise so much for others. Why can't we compromise for ourselves? We have to give a little bit. We got to definitely give ourselves more grace. And so I go to the gym, and more times than not, let's say I only want to do 2 workouts, I end up doing the whole thing. Like you were saying earlier, I'm already at the gym. I might as well. Cardio really exhausts me, and I need the extra energy throughout the day. And I know nutrition plays a huge part in the energy being sustained throughout the day. And so now I'm like, okay, I got to sit down and I have to meal prep and make sure I'm getting all my calories, carbs, protein that I need. And then once I get normalized to that and I start noticing my energy is better, then I'll start tacking on cardio again. It's making those compromises and allowing yourself. That's a big part. It's just giving yourself permission to do it flawed. These same kind of themes that we're seeing and what we know we have to do and what we actually end up doing. It reminds me of one of my mentors, Rachel Gomez. She actually said this in another interview with a startup called Artsy, and they're focused on providing a platform for creatives and artists to network and to collaborate and create opportunities for themselves. She was saying one of the greatest enemies or villains for a creative is not doing your art until it's perfect. That perfectionism trap, right? The fastest way to grow is to release and reiterate. You have to release that perfectionism and allow yourself to iterate. And then with every single iteration, you learn something new, whether it's an experience, whether it's a lesson, whatever. This podcast is an example of release and reiterate. This is my 3rd one. My first one, I started because I've always wanted to do a podcast. I didn't know where to start. And an old mentor of mine said, find 5 people, give them the gist of your podcast, and ask them to be an inaugural guest. And bang, the first one was born. Then I think it was probably 20-ish episodes later, I wanted to move on from it and do something that was more speaker related. 7-ish episodes after that, I was making a huge pivot in my business. And that's where this was born too, because it speaks better to who I want to serve and how I want to serve. If I was too scared or if I was waiting on the right time for me to know every single thing about running a successful podcast from start to finish, we wouldn't be talking right now. The next thing that I want to ask you, what else do you do in your life that you invest time and energy in?
Yeah, well, a big part of my life is Too Good Nutrition. I love it, every aspect of it, because it's not only being there, it's also being with the people, making events, planning events, just like how we're doing that event this April 17th.
Yes, so just to plug, if you're listening to this before April 17th, 2024, we are having our first inaugural event for the Young Entrepreneurs Division of Social Register Network. Social Register has existed for over 30 years now, so we are well ingrained into the community. The Young Entrepreneurs Division is just a brand new chapter. It's one branch out of that oak tree that we've built. And this event is meant to bring young entrepreneurs together to share who our people are, who is in our circle, just like Karin has been sharing about her mentors and how important community has been for her on her health journey and her entrepreneurial journey. For me, it's my mentors and some of my own villains, like imposter syndrome. So we're going to be talking a lot about that, is like, who are the characters and the themes in our stories, and sharing that. And you never know who you're going to run into and add into your circle. You might find a new mentor, a new ally, a new friend, a new business partner, a new opportunity. So April 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Too Good Nutrition. I'll be there. Karin will be there. So if you're listening to this, make sure you go into the show notes, or you can go onto the Instagram. My Instagram at LYKA_FERRY. I have my link there. Or you can also go to SRN Young Entrepreneurs. We have our Instagram on there. I'll share all in the show notes.
I wouldn't want anyone to miss out on it. So it's going to be awesome.
Okay, so Too Good Nutrition plays a huge part in your life.
Yes.
Do you go to school? Do you have other hustles? What's your schedule like?
Yeah, so I mean, my day-to-day is I'm there at Too Good most of the time. I'm also partnered with Bikini Fitness, so I help pretty much like run the account administration. I help with all the memberships and clients, help run events, help, pretty much just not only with Bikini Fitness, but also Too Good. I'm also able to run my own business through being a independent distributor with them. It's really cool that I've been able to not only make a passive income that I get secured amount each month, but I'm also able to continuing to foster and grow relationships with people. There's so many business events that I get through Bikini Fitness and Too Good Nutrition. So my time is really focused on doing work for that. If I'm not at Too Good, I am at home or at a coffee shop doing some work. I prioritize my family a lot.
So with your schedule spanning a lot of different things, like you're at a physical location with Too Good, you're also helping out at Bikini Fitness, like your other business partners. Where do you feel are your challenges right now?
I think finding a system for myself, like finding a system in general. I think, like you said, things are very trial and error. Before I was in school, I was very task-based. Now I make my own tasks. So, you know, that's another transition for some people that are going from the 9-to-5 or school focus to wanting to make your schedule. You do put the work in and you do put the time in. I'm looking to be 30 and thriving. I make sure to put the time in now. When people talk about working a lot or putting a lot of effort or anything towards something that they love, there's this like kind of negativity towards it.
As a 21-year-old entrepreneur, what is the most exciting thing about running your own business?
I mean, the most exciting thing, I would say, like the ideas that you have.
The power of being able to make your ideas into reality. Because before we would need to ask permission or get buy-in from decision makers. We're the decision maker now as the business owner.
This is your life.
You have ownership
about a business, you know? Like, this is your life.
Yes, you're making this life for yourself. And there's no blueprint, really. There's blueprints to certain pieces that you'd like, but there's no blueprint for you. You're building this map as you go.
Right.
And the only information that we have is where we're currently at and all the routes that we've taken in the past
Mhm.
as we navigate forward.
Oh wow, I love that. I love
What
that a lot.
what is the most exhausting part about being a 21-year-old entrepreneur?
There are going to be weeks that are a little busier than others, or there are going to be times that are a little more stressful or hectic than others. But I always like to say that busy is a blessing. Kind of.
The pressure is a privilege. The fact that we get to have a mission and that we're putting it into the world.
Right.
And every single effort that we put into it is an investment. And we're seeing the ROI in the time, energy, resources spent on what we're growing.
Yeah.
Like it's mind-boggling. But it can also put a lot of pressure on ourselves, right? So you talked a little bit about perfectionism. What are these other kind of shadow mindsets that you're kind of facing right now as an entrepreneur?
I would say imposter syndrome. Half a year ago, about 8 months ago, was around that time where I felt like, why me? And then until I realized that, no, like, why me? Why me? Because I do deserve it. It's only gonna work for you when you change the frequency behind it. I know this is so weird to say, but like
the vibration of that vision you have.
Yeah. So if you're gonna tell yourself like, why me? Like, why are people gonna judge me? Like, of course,
you repel.
Yeah, of course you're gonna put that energy out there as soon as you kind of shift that to, of course, but not in a cocky way, but in a way of, I know I've helped people and I know that I can do the same, and I want to be able to do the same that was done for me. I'm super scared of change, but I'm also super scared of being stuck. I want to be able to kind of lead others and do that with the community. I feel like that's the only way you can do that, partnering with other people that are like-minded.
So what I'm hearing is that your values are community and being able to spend time with people, where your business is able to run on its own so that you can focus on these innovative ideas of turning your ideas into reality. And those ideas require other people to be on board and to share their energy and contribute their energy to make happen.
100%. I feel like that's the only way,
So where is Too Good going from here? What's your vision for it?
We tried to reach other places, other states, other countries. I know Aviva's working with other people outside of Vegas, other gyms. We're looking to open up another location in Utah.
Wow.
We have,
congratulations.
Thank you. Collaborators in California and then also in Miami. We want to reach a lot of communities. We want to spread the love. We want to just spread the vision that we have with everyone else, that you can have a healthy community, a healthy lifestyle, a healthy life. Because we don't only help people reach their nutritional goals or their weight loss goals or anything like that. We help other businesses run the same model. So they don't have to feel like they have to commit to 12 to 14 hours a day as a personal trainer. They can still be very connected with their clients and still be very one-on-one with them, but be making a bigger impact in not only here and with your time. I think time is so valuable, and sometimes we don't have enough of it. Like it just goes. Like, I don't know if sometimes if you're doing work and like it's like 8 a.m. and then all of a sudden it's 12 and you're like, what did I do? Like wanting to value your time and do the same for others.
A business model that empowers you to have that time freedom.
Yeah.
And I will say as well that when the energy of Too Good perfectly matches you, Isaac, Aviva, just meeting y'all. You can tell that this is based out of a community. I feel like there's a lot of nutrition spots that offer a very premium experience, but it's so individual. There's not really a commonplace area for people to come together or a common mission for people to come together. Versus with Too Good, you guys have boot camps, you guys work with local meal prep businesses so that you can offer options for people to explore their nutrition, to explore their health and wellness, whatever that looks like to them. And you guys don't pigeonhole yourselves into it. You share it.
And that's all we're doing.
I think health and wellness is meant to be shared. It's not meant to be gate kept. And you guys don't gatekeep it behind premium pretty wallpaper. You guys are the real deal in terms of holistic health and wellness and that balance of, like we were saying earlier, really good, high quality, delicious food, but it's internally very good for you. So the last question that I want to wrap up with is this. If Too Good was a person, it had its own personality, spoke in their own way, how would you describe your business?
Wow,
in
I like
human
that.
form?
Okay, well, I would say that they're a person of comfort, a person of happiness, and a person who just wants to see other people grow. I think that just reflects on everyone that walks through the door and wants to be a part of that community. They have all the same vision, that same need. It's not even a want, it's like a need and a drive.
Yearning.
Yes, because they want what was done for them so badly to do for other people. Just to, like, I see like some of these boot camps, and when you see the person behind it or the person running it or whatever it is, you see the drive in them. And you know what I mean? Like, recently we've partnered with Sambition, David, and you just see their nature, and we just
very heart-centered people.
Exactly. And that is what Too Good is. You know, just a spot for, like you said, the common place where people are able to pour into each other, but also like learn as well.
So for those of you who are listening, if you want to meet Too Good in person, meet Karin in person, go ahead and share how people can connect with you and where to find you.
Yeah, so I mean, I have both like Facebook, Instagram. I'm primarily on Instagram, so just at Karin Malka. That's where you can find me.
Where can people find Too Good Nutrition? Because you have 2 locations, right?
Yes, so for Too Good, you can find Too Good at Too Good Las Vegas, so TOOGOOD, and Nutrition House.
So the other nutrition house is connected to the Bikini Fitness Gym, right?
Yes, to the Only Women Gym, yeah. So we pretty much wanted to find like a meet in the middle kind of spot. You know, you don't have to drive to Too Good or drive a few minutes down the road after your workout, right before you get to enjoy your, treat.
Very nice. Thank you so much for joining us, Karin, sharing your journey. And I just feel like you really brought together how multiple routes and experiences in your life, the health journey and your entrepreneurial journey, all just intertwined, and community is what binded them together. So thank you so much. And please make sure you drop her a follow Too Good Nutrition. We also have our event coming up, the Commonplace event, which is going to be hosted by Karin at Too Good Nutrition. All of these things are going to be in the show notes, and we will see you guys next episode.